What up? What up? What up, YouTube? How y'all feeling? Today, today, I'm gonna bring y'all that Drink Champs DJ Vlad opinion. I watched the interview, y'all. I watched the interview and salute the Drink Champs. Salute to Vlad. This was Vlad best interview. I already knew it was gonna be fire, but we got some stuff to talk about. We definitely have some stuff to talk about. Vlad, first off, he spoke on the Nori situation, which him and Nori had, a disagreement. And they settled their differences, said they've been trying to make this interview happen for a year, but of course they end up talking and working it out, and now we have the Vlad on Drink Champs interview. They gave him his flowers, that salute to Vlad. But let's get into that Joe Buttons. Vlad said back in the day he interviewed Joe, and Joe ended up dissing this guy, which led to the altercation. Well, not the altercation, but the falling out between the two. I'm not gonna say what happened or who it was, cause I don't want y'all to not watch the interview. Like, go watch the interview. It's definitely interesting. If you need to get through 3 hours and a half and 15 minutes, go watch the interview. Now, I'd expect that Vlad would have been at 1 million, but of course, I'll tell y'all why Vlad didn't hit 1 million so quick at the end as a little Easter egg, which I love to give out. I ain't give y'all one in a minute, so I'm going to give it to y'all on this one. But he said that he's willing to talk to Joe and work out their differences, with though they can start to do more networking, and maybe Joe come on Vlad. Slim chance of that happening, but it could. Or Vlad can come on Joe podcast. Slim chance of that happening, but it could. Let's hope for the best and hope that they do come to terms, because salute to Joe. He doing his thing, and salute to Vlad, but let's be honest, Vlad, what he did back then set a foundation for people who do interviews now. Because now you don't have to pick a side. Back then, which Vlad, I'm not sure was he not aware of what he was doing, or was he just like, hey, I need both sides of the story? Like, was he that invested that he wanted both sides, or what was going on? So he kind of broke a barrier right there, whereas though if you do interviews, you don't have to interview this person and not interview that person and just have one side and wait and hope somebody asks them right questions for the person that you interviewed is beefing with, and hope they ask them right questions. You can interview both of them and get the whole story, and I salute Vlad for that. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, don't worry, y'all. I'm going to grill Vlad a little bit in this video, but y'all know we ain't doing too much messiness. We ain't doing too much salt in the wound. But I'm going to grill him a bit. I'm going to get him. It's coming. Just hold up. Hold up. It's coming. But, yeah, that's pretty much what I'm going to give y'all on that, on Joe and Vlad, why they ain't on speaking terms right now. But go check the interview out. I'm gonna say that a lot through this video, so just get used to that part. But let me drop that coconut on y'all head. And when Vlad, he said, of course we had where's though I discussed with you that certain things I don't want to touch on, or basically saying he don't want to talk about that Rick Ross situation. He don't want to talk about that Rick Ross situation. I thought that was, I ain't gonna lie, that's why I watched. Because I was waiting to see, like, on Drink Champs, like, from now on, to all celebs, if you come on Drink Champs, no filter. Shout out to Pleasure P, no filter. Like, he spoke his truth, and it is what it is. Now, I understand Vlad sort of kind of took an L in that situation, and I'm going to touch on this. We're going to stay on this for a little second. I'm going to touch on this because Vlad, he has what I will call the I wanna be gangster down syndrome. No offense to Vlad, but because how he handled the situation, which Vlad to me is a businessman. Handle the situation how you handle it. You're not a gangster, Vlad, but he feel like because he's part of hip hop, he wanna fit in. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's not like that. Like, if you're a businessman, be a businessman. But if you on some gangster stuff, be gangster. But he did not want to talk about that Ricky Rose situation. Hurt my heart. Hurt my heart. Like, I felt cheated. And I feel like that's why that interview ain't do $1 million in a day. Like, Vlad, I don't know whether because it was on the Drink Champs platform, you didn't want to put it out there. But being all the names that they call you, I kind of felt like you owed us that. Like, you owed us that. If you'd have did that, you'd be easily $1 million in a day, 50 million views. Tops. No, I ain't even gonna top. Like, I could put it a little at 80. He probably could have even notched with what Cat did with Shay Shay. You know what I'm saying? But hey, I'ma just put it out there now. I'm spilling the tea on that because he ain't speak about it. So I don't want y'all going into it thinking, oh well, he talked about that. But the interview was fire. Don't get it twisted. Like, he told us about some stuff that I was like, oh, okay, all right, that's what's up, Vlad. Like, you doing, yeah, that's what's up. Like, it was a good interview. It was a wonderful interview. You ask me, like I said, best interview I ever seen from Vlad. Well, I'm kind of biased on that one, y'all. My bad, because I'm going to get, I got to give y'all the real. It's talk the truth, so I got to give y'all the real. that was the first Vlad interview I actually watched, like clicked on and tapped in with. I don't check out Vlad interviews because he tell us everything while he interviewing someone anyway. So it's like we already know a lot. But he didn't do that this time. He actually went into some tunnels and showed us and told us some stuff that you ain't know about Vlad. And I like that. I like that. I definitely like that. But don't go into it thinking you're going to hear about Rose because he ain't ready to talk about that yet. Now, why he not? I feel like because Vlad, he takes the W so much on hey, I gotta win, that he don't want to take an L. He ain't ready to accept that L. But I feel like that will build his brand. Like I feel like he will become somebody to the culture if he spoke on that. Just imagine if he did it while he had Rick Ross as a guest. Like that would be fire. Extra security, Vlad. Hey, Vlad, don't play with that security now. Extra security. But I feel like that's why Vlad, he ain't ready to hold that L yet. You know, he's doing his thing. We probably still got another 10, 20 years before we get the actual story, if we ever get it. But he also spoke on racism. Salute to Vlad. You know, Vlad's a Jew. You know, salute to all Jews. Now, when Vlad showed up, he said he showed up on time. And he said he don't like when rappers or people, period, don't show up on time. But mainly rappers. He ain't say mainly rappers, but I know how you rappers are. So, if y'all could do me a favor, just show up on time for Vlad. Just show up on time for Vlad. He done set up his cameras, you know. He done set up the chairs. He done set up the background. Like he waiting for you. You know what I'm saying? Hey, y'all put some respect on Vlad's name. Put some respect on Vlad's name. Cause he don't like when y'all don't show up on time. Like he said he showed up to Drink Champs interview 2.5 hours early. Like they got to shoot early because he showed up early. Like Vlad said his interview was booked for 2:30. They got the shooting at 12 o'clock. That's how early he showed up. Alright. So y'all show up for Vlad. Don't do him like that. But I'm gonna get on Vlad a little bit. Cause I know that's what y'all want. And of course it ain't gonna be messy. I'm gonna just talk about what we wanna talk about. Of course, what we saying, what we thinking. And no, it's not the feds, Vlad. So no, I don't think you're a fed. We're gonna come back into a little more stuff. But you know, if we miss it, leave it. I'm just, you know, I'm giving y'all something. But, Vlad, I don't know if you ever seen Malibu Most Wanted, or I don't know how long it's been since you watched Malibu Most Wanted, but if you remember that part, when Chandra and B-Rad was in the room and she said, hey, they hate posers, we hate posers. She was speaking about black people. Shout out to Mom. Hey, Shout out to all my Caucasians. I ain't got nothing against you because I got some Caucasians that's black now that I embrace them as black. You know, that like, no offense now, like I'm telling y'all, like, it's just Vlad, he tweaks the knob to the point, hey, I'm down, but hey, let's turn it down. You see what I'm saying? Nothing far as Vlad TV. Like his interviews is fire. I love his angle, what he do, like yeah. But Vlad, when you're interviewing somebody, we don't wanna hear that you kicked a puppy when you were 4 years old and it bit you. You know, we don't want to hear that. No cruelty to animals is just a phrase, y'all. It's just a scenario. Don't take offense. But we ain't worrying about what Vlad has going on. We want you to antagonize this person that you interviewing, like get some sauce up out of them so we can see what they on. Don't bring yourself into the scenario. And I understand you're Vlad TV, like you're one of the biggest, if not the biggest out there. And salute, like I said, it's nothing but saluting. But when you come from your culture, Vlad, which you're adopting our culture, which now you're a part of, you gotta prove yourself. And when you do all that extraness, you ain't proving yourself, because I'm not sure if I'm right, but I believe we just started getting Vlad TV interviews. Like he, for me, it felt like he made a deal with Breakfast Club or Sean Cotton so that, all right, you interview me, I'm gonna interview you. Or he made a deal with Math, and we seen the deal that they made on camera, but wasn't nobody trying to interview Vlad. Cause he's the person that do interviews, so we don't really. But Vlad want to talk about what he's talking about. You know what he been through, where he come from. He want to talk about that, and I believe eventually it was coming, but they was making him wait because maybe a lot of people side-eyeing you, Vlad, because you do this little sideways dance, and we looking like, hey, is this what it is? Like, okay, well, we ain't feeling that too much. Like, you got two left feet when you're dancing, bro. Now, in that interview, Vlad spoke on, when I interview somebody, my loyalty is not to uphold that I shouldn't go interview the opposite or the ops side. Now let's pause right there, Vlad. Shout outs to Dane. Don't ever think that. Now you broke that barrier, with though now that can be done and should be done. But well, let me put a little more season on that. He said the relationship is basically business, which agreed. But once you have a business relationship with someone, they expect a bit of loyalty. You know, they expect that. But now you broke that barrier, so we ain't gotta put that on a line. But don't say you don't have a friendship with these people, because now you're connected to them. You know, I'm sure you gotten their number or you gotten their manager number, and they're expecting you to uphold some sort of the bargain. So don't act like you don't owe these people the respect. Like, come clean with it. Hey, I, even if you wait till the last minute, I just interviewed such and such. It's dropping tomorrow. Just want to let you know, being that, we've done business, I don't want you to be side. My bad. I left out blind. I don't want you to be blindsided, but hey, I just want you to know that this is coming out. That way they see, all right, it's already in motion, but hey, I respect that. It builds up your reputation. Because as I say, Vlad, we don't like people who tries to be black or want to be black. We just want you to be down. Just be yourself. You ain't got to do all that extraness. Like, of course, we love your interviews. We tap in. But I'm disappointed you ain't do $1 million in a day. I just knew you was going to do $1 million in a day. I'm a little disappointed, Vlad. So fall back on them stories a little bit, because you're telling the same stories. You come, yeah, I was in the kitchen, making a pack of oodles and noodles, and I end up watching the football game and forgetting about the noodles, and the pot caught on fire. And I had to literally go outside, get a shovel, and shovel up some dirt to throw on the stove. Like, we don't want to hear it. We don't want to hear that. And then if you tell a story, don't tell it again. But you know what that let me know? You ain't have a lot of danger encounters. Like, you stayed out of Dodge, which, hey, I'm going to stay out of Dodge myself. Like, I'm going to stay out of Dodge myself. I ain't trying to get into that. No, I want a smooth operator type scenery. I understand. So we understand. You do realize you have civilians in your subscribers. So don't think you gotta be hard, because, when you say, oh, I'm a fight to the full extent of not giving up footage to the FBI. It's understandable. Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that. Hey, that show some loyalty there. But guess what? That don't show that you gangster, Vlad. Stop. Cause it's like you trying to show that, hey, like, I'm down. Like, I got some gangster in me. But see, gangsters is gangsters, and civilians is civilians. You're a civilian, Vlad. You not about to be riding around with no gangster, and he tell you, like, yeah, hey, we about to get rid of these 30 bricks. Vlad, you gonna be, hey, pull a call. I can't be in here. No, I got Vlad TV. I got interviews to do. Like, I just booked the interview for tomorrow. I can't be in this. Ain't nothing wrong with that, Vlad. You don't have to do that. You don't. Like, stop trying to act like you doing this because you're gangster, because that's not the reason. Like, your guests are your guests. The ones that show up and they're real gangsters, that's what it is. But you don't have to act like you're gangster. You can just say, hey, like the Vlads try to get the raw. I said the Vlads, my bad. The FBI tried to get the raw footage, and I just told them no. Like, I'm like, this is my personal property, and I don't feel as though y'all need it. The interview is out. Like, use what y'all got. Don't try to make it sound like you coming like that. You know what I'm saying? Which, don't get me wrong, you know, you Russian, them Russians, they handle their business. Shout outs to Russia. But you can't be a scary gangster, Vlad. And that's the thing, that it comes back to that Malibu Most Wanted, like, poses. Like, I'm not about to tell them folks, like, hey, the FBI came and asked for the raw footage, and I told them, hey, like, I'm not down with that. Like, that's not, like, the way you explained it, of course, was way different, but I would just allow them to know, like, hey, this is my property. Unless you come with the proper documentation, I'm not willing to give up that raw footage. You have to speak like a businessman, Vlad. Switch all that persona up. Just because you're around these gangsters and thugs, that don't make you that. Like, even they don't look at you like that. Like, you say you walk around with security. Like, these guys is walking around with pistols. Like, their security is Pookie from back from the hood. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they got a pistol on them they self. Like, they ready to blow. Like, if it pop off, you gonna be ducking behind cars. Of course, we know you have your license, but is when that action go down. That's how we look at it, Vlad. So you took the legal route to go do that. These guys is taking penitentiary chances. That's all, Vlad.